Ancient Egypt, a land rich with both natural resources and a profound sense of spirituality, began its journey into the world of metalworking thousands of years before the Common Era. For the Egyptians, metalworking was not only an art form, it was a means to connect with the divine, a way to transform the raw materials of the earth into tools, weapons, and objects of worship. The earliest metal known to the Egyptians was copper, followed by gold, and later bronze. Copper was initially extracted from ores found in the deserts surrounding the Nile River, and it didn't take long before the Egyptians realized the potential of this material. At first, copper was used for basic tools such as chisels, knives, and sickles. Gold, however, held a special place in Egyptian society. Gold was seen as the flesh of the gods, particularly Ra, the sun god, whose golden body was believed to illuminate the heavens. The craft of goldsmithing was thus not merely a profession, it was a sacred duty, a means to create objects for the gods and for the eternal afterlife of the pharaohs. As Egypt's civilization grew, so did its understanding of metal. To work with metals like copper and gold, the Egyptians needed to master fire. Their early furnaces, crafted from clay and stone, were capable of reaching high temperatures necessary to smelt copper and gold. These furnaces played an integral role in the development of metallurgy in Egypt, and their creation marked the beginning of a long tradition of craftsmanship. The furnace itself was an important symbol, associated with the god of fire, Hephaestus, whose flames were said to possess the power to purify and transform materials. For the Egyptians, the furnace was not just a tool, it was a sacred place where raw materials were transformed into objects that could be used for both mundane and spiritual purposes. The heat of the furnace, carefully controlled by the hands of skilled artisans, was believed to be a divine force that allowed the metal to take shape and be imbued with special qualities. Around 2000 BCE, the Egyptians began to experiment with alloys, creating a metal stronger than copper bronze. Bronze, an alloy of copper and tin, revolutionized Egyptian metalworking. It was harder, more durable, and capable of holding a sharper edge, making it ideal for weapons, tools, and other functional items. This discovery marked a significant leap in Egyptian technology, and the creation of bronze tools and weapons played a vital role in the expansion of Egypt's power. Bronze's use in weaponry had a profound impact on Egypt's military capabilities. Swords, spears, and shields crafted from bronze allowed Egyptian armies to dominate their enemies and protect the borders of the kingdom. But bronze was not only used for warfare. The Egyptians used it to create intricate jewelry, statues, and tools for everyday life, blending utility with beauty. While bronze marked the technological leap, gold remained the most sacred of metals in ancient Egypt. It was used to create sacred objects for religious ceremonies, tomb treasures for the pharaohs, and amulets to protect the living. The use of gold in religious rituals was deeply symbolic. The Egyptians believed that gold could carry the divine essence of the gods, making it an essential material in their sacred spaces, including temples and tombs. The most famous use of gold was for the creation of the tomb of Pharaoh Tutankhamun, whose burial mask, crafted from pure gold, became an enduring symbol of Egypt's mastery of metallurgy. The mask, and the treasures buried with him, were not just expressions of wealth, they were expressions of divine favor, ensuring that the pharaoh's soul would live forever in the afterlife. Goldsmiths in ancient Egypt were revered, their work seen as a direct link to the gods. Their skill in creating intricate jewelry, amulets, and statues of gods was considered both a craft and a sacred practice, a way of honoring the divine. While the Egyptians were first and foremost skilled craftsmen, their understanding of metallurgy also involved a deeply mystical aspect. Alchemy, the precursor to modern chemistry, was rooted in ancient Egyptian beliefs. The process of transforming base metals into gold was not simply a quest for material wealth, it was seen as a way to transform the soul and connect with the divine. The idea of alchemy in Egypt was closely linked with the belief in the divine power of the sun and the elements. The Egyptians believed that metals, especially gold, carried divine energy. The process of working with these metals was seen as a way to commune with the gods, especially Ra, the sun god, whose energy was thought to permeate everything. Alchemists believed that through the right processes, they could purify the soul, much like they purified metals, and gain access to divine wisdom and immortality. As Egypt's influence spread throughout the ancient world, so did its mastery of metallurgy. Egyptian techniques in metalworking were adopted by neighboring cultures and evolved over time. The knowledge of alloying metals, creating durable bronze weapons, and refining goldwork spread to civilizations in Mesopotamia, Greece, and Rome. The lasting legacy of Egyptian metalworking is not only seen in the objects they created but in the enduring influence their craftsmanship had on future generations. The Egyptian approach to metallurgy was not just a technical achievement, it was a spiritual journey, one that sought to align the physical and divine worlds. Their metalworking practices influenced the alchemists of later periods, who sought to transform both metals and the soul in their quest for immortality. Even today, the wonders of Egyptian metalworking continue to captivate the world. The tomb of Tutankhamun, with its gold mask and treasures, remains a symbol of the ancient Egyptians' skill and their spiritual connection to the divine. The secrets of their metalworking may have been lost to time, but their legacy lives on in the artifacts they left behind. As modern archaeologists and scholars continue to study the ancient techniques of Egyptian metalworking, the mysteries of how they were able to create such intricate and lasting objects from metals remain a subject of fascination. The blending of art, science, and spirituality in Egyptian metallurgy is a testament to the sophisticated understanding that the ancient Egyptians had of the natural world and the divine forces that governed it. In the end, the story of Egyptian metalworking is not just about the transformation of raw materials into gold, bronze, and copper. It is a story about the transformation of the soul, the pursuit of knowledge, and the eternal search for connection with the divine. Through their work with metals, the ancient Egyptians created not only objects of beauty and utility but also a bridge between the human and the divine, a bridge that continues to inspire awe and wonder to this day.